Okay, everyone, I'm going to put the ingredients in the description box. But right here, I want to let you know that I did have some technical difficulties. One of the instructions tells you to put flour and the teaspoon of salt, a quarter cup of white sugar, and a large egg, and mix that together. That's what I did here. And you just didn't see what I added into that. I added all that together in the mixing bowl. So sorry about that. But anyway, now I'm going to add the um, yeast mixture, which was 1 1/3 cups of water, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and two packages of yeast that I had let froth for about 10 minutes. So I'm adding that all into the mixer, into the flour mixture that I didn't have filmed, and I'm going to let the bread hook um, mix this and knead it for about 5 minutes. That's what you see here. So everything's mixing away. I'm actually standing here watching it because I've never used yeast before, so I'm a little nervous. But I continue to let it do what it's supposed to do, and I just went ahead and cleaned up the kitchen while it continued to knead. So here I just speeded up the process just to get through this. I'm pretty sure this part is boring to you, and that's just what this is. It's just doing its kneading. So here's my first look when I realize it's coming into a ball, and you see I put my hands up in the air. It's victory. Victory that this is actually kneaded into the ball as the recipe described. Even Bree comes over to see what everything looks like. So we're both kind of excited at this point, and I decide to stop the mixer and take everything out. Now, I don't know what possessed me to put this on parchment paper rather than do it on my countertop, but yeah, that's what you see me doing here. It doesn't make sense now, but it did at the point that I was making it. I can't recall why it made sense, but it did. You see here, I actually start touching it and I realize it's really sticky. And Bree has to remind me in the background that Gina Young said it would be very sticky dough. So here I am pushing on. I'm really unsure, as you can see, but I press on and I'm just gonna go with what Gina said and continue the process. So you can see that I'm still amazed at how sticky it is, even with the little bit of flour that I put down. But I'm pressing through, guys. I'm gonna just follow the instructions and I'm gonna trust this process. Once it gets coated in a little bit of the flour, obviously it becomes much easier to use. And I'm amazed at how warm it is. I don't know why, but I am amazed. And Brie even touches it because she wanted to feel it's very soft and very warm at this point. So now I'm preparing the bowl. I put a little bit of oil in it and I'm just rubbing it on the sides, and I'm going to place the dough into my bowl, and I'm going to toss it in the oil. So that's what you see me doing here. I guess it's to keep it from getting a film on it, maybe. I'm not really sure what it does, but I just assume it's to keep it from getting a film on it. And I'm going to cover it and put it in a warm place, which is going to be the back of my stove. My stove is not on, but it is warm, and I'm going to let it rise. So after about an hour and a half, the dough has risen and you can see it looks beautiful in this bowl here. I'm going to punch it down, which is just taking the air out of it, and I'm going to put it on a piece of parchment paper and start working with it to make the actual biscuits. So the first biscuit I'm going to make is the way that Gina Young showed for it to be made. I'm going to kind of roll it and then stretch it on itself and kind of pinch it at the bottom and then put it into the pan. This is the way that Gina Young had her pan. She put some tin foil in it and sprayed it. So I just copied that because that's how she did it. I had seen a number of other recipes, and a couple of other ladies said to cup your hand and to roll the bread on the countertop, and I tried that method too. So I did some Gina Young's method and then some rolling it on the countertop. So there you go. I ended up getting nine into one pan. I think I made them a little big, but this is my first time and I just kind of went with it. So I did nine in one pan, and I believe I only got four or five in another. That's what you see me kind of figuring out how many I'm going to get in both pans. Um, but it was, trial and error. I was going to see what it was going to feel like in my hand and how many I was going to get out. So that's what we're doing here. Just getting the bread getting it into the shape of a roll. The instructions said to bake the bread at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. I actually did it for around 17. Guys, I had to prep this dinner roll taste test. Here I am. There's the butter, and I'm getting ready to get the first dinner roll off of the pan. There it is. It's, it's steaming hot and it looks delicious.
Okay, everyone, this is the moment of truth. I've just taken the dinner rolls out. They smell wonderful. As you saw, I buttered the top. I broke it apart for you to see the inside of it. I'm gonna let you see it again. Ah, that looks so good. See, the steam is still coming off of it. I'm gonna add a little pat of butter to it. And let's taste. That's pretty good. Now, what I will say, these are a keeper. I think it needs a little more salt, because I use unsalted butter, so that doesn't provide any additional salt. But other than that, I think they're really good. Now, I don't know if they're ready for my Thanksgiving table, but I'm still eating. Can you tell? So they're good enough for me to continue eating and good enough for me to continue experimenting on. They're really good, guys. They're tender. Yeah, definitely a keeper. Many thanks to Gina Young, whose grandmother's dinner rolls were the inspiration for this. If this is your first time visiting my channel, thank you very much for coming. I hope you saw something that you like and you'll consider subscribing. If you do so, feel free to hit that subscribe button, but also hit the notification bell so that you will be notified every time I upload a new video. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today in my kitchen. You know how much I appreciate the time we spend together. I hope you guys hang around for another episode of my Cooking Chronicles, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.